Hello, remember me? Um, so here I am. I have been gone a very long time. I think I had a video in February of last year. It's now May of 2021. And I've been gone for a long time. I came back with a video last year trying to start the page up again, but then stuff happened and uh, it just it wasn't working out. This is something that I've really wanted to start over again, and I just haven't had the opportunity to do so. Uh, it's not so much that I didn't have the opportunity, it was more like there was a lot of stuff going on. There still is a lot of stuff going on here. Um, for one, you can tell I have lost a ton of weight. Um, I have lost over 100 pounds, and I couldn't be happier with my weight loss. I feel good. Uh, I think I look much better. I feel like I actually fit in around people now. It used to be to the point where I didn't even like seeing myself in a reflection because I had gotten so overweight. The heaviest I was in 2017, that I know of anyway, because I didn't really weigh myself back then. But when I had to go to the doctor about something, it turned out to be nothing, but I found out how much I weighed, and I weighed 328 pounds. And I was like, no, something needs to be fixed. I have to do something to lose some weight. And I changed my diet drastically, and um, I lost approximately 60 pounds on my own, just by changing my diet and walking a lot. 60 pounds I lost on my own. Um, but then I fell back into it. I fell back into fast food all the time, and uh, tons of pasta and snacking on stuff that I shouldn't be snacking on, and just eating and eating and eating. And I ended up getting not back to 328, but very close. I was around 313 uh, after I had lost the 60 pounds, and I finally like I was trying. I was trying so hard to lose the weight again, to get back down. Um, and it wasn't working. So I went to a specialty doctor, and I got into a program for a surgery. So I ended up having what's called a sleeve gastrectomy. Now, when I first started, um, well, let me rephrase that. So when I got weighed, the very first time I went into that office, I think I was at 315 or 318 or something. Um, I had to go through, I think, 2 months of bunch of different like classes and stuff like that. Um, I had to go through a psych evaluation to make sure I was prepared for, because this was a life-changing operation. Um, so basically, what a sleeve gastrectomy is they removed half my stomach, or maybe even three-quarters of my stomach, something like that. Um, I was in the hospital for a couple days, and then I just started shedding weight. So right before the surgery, 2 weeks before the surgery, I was on an all liquid diet, which sounds awful. It kind of was, but it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. It was it was it was hard. I'm not going to lie, it was hard, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. So um, once once I had the surgery, which went through great. I've never had surgery aside from oral surgery when I had my wisdom teeth out. But once I had that surgery done, I started losing the weight very quickly. So the 2 weeks before the surgery, when I started the liquid diet, I took a picture of myself because I knew that that was the last time I was going to be that weight. I knew I was going to, within those 2 weeks, I was going to start losing weight. And I think I lost something like 20 pounds in those 2 weeks, just from being on an all liquid diet. So I took a picture of myself. I weighed myself. I was 312 when I weighed myself. Today, so my Surgery was in October, the beginning of October, October 5th, I think, or the 6th. Today is the 14th of May. So it hasn't even been 7 months, and I have lost 112 pounds. I now weigh 200 flat, and that was my goal, to get my weight down to 200. Just to put it in perspective of how big I was wearing 3X and 4X shirts. When I lost the 60 pounds initially, I was fitting into 2X shirts, but they were still tight. I had a specific shirt um, from Evil Dead the Musical. I should have worn it in this video. I didn't even think of that. Um, so I had that shirt, which claimed to be a 2XL, but it clearly was not. There's no way in hell that that shirt was a 2XL. Uh, I remember when I bought it, and I was like, I'm never going to fit in this shirt. I held it in my closet forever. I think I got that shirt in 2015. Um, as of like December of 2020, I was able to fit in that shirt, and it fits comfortably now, and that's amazing. You guys have no idea the joy and happiness that has come with losing this weight. It has completely changed my life. My self-esteem has gone way up when it was way below average before, but now I don't need to worry about it anymore. Yes, I do, because basically what happens is with the sleeve gastrectomy, you can basically what it does is you can only eat so much. Like physically, your body can only take in so much food at once. Otherwise, you throw up. So that's what I needed. I am a person who has absolutely no control, no like you know just I don't. I have no willpower to stop myself from eating. Like it was one of those things where it was like in my head that I wanted to lose weight, but I couldn't stop eating crap. And it was just so easy. I mean, I've saved a ton of money now because I don't really eat fast food anymore. Every once in a while, I might get a cheeseburger or I might get some fries, but I can't have a whole meal. Let me give you an example of how I used to eat. I would eat four bagels in the morning as breakfast, four bagels. And that didn't even last me. But like in a few hours, I was starving. And then I would go out and get something like McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or something. Um, and then at night I would make a frozen pizza. I mean, does that sound like sounds like a tasty meal for everything, but it wasn't healthy. And I got way over 300 pounds, and I never in my life thought I would be that heavy. And I was like, there's no way. I can't do this. I can't get to 350 or 400 or have a heart attack or a stroke like my mom had. Um, I'm only 37. I'm 37 now. I was 33 when I went to the doctor and found out what my weight was, and I didn't want to end up dying from heart problems or aneurysms or whatever. That's not what I wanted. So getting that surgery and losing the weight is the greatest thing that I've ever done in my life. Now, aside from that, I am living with my father again. It's because he has dementia, unfortunately, and he needs somebody here. So I'll be living back here again for as long as I have to. Um, so it's been a little difficult taking care of him. And then, of course, in March, I get laid off. Worked at that job for over 6 years, and they just kicked me to the curb. So, but that's fine. They gave me severance pay, and I'm getting unemployment, and my unemployment checks are the same amount of money I was making at my job. So, um, it's not too bad. I've been spending a lot of time watching movies and stuff. So, but that brings us to the future of this channel. I want to start this back up. I have plans. I know I've come onto the channel before and been like, "Hey, I'm back and videos are happening," and then nothing happened. Um, I feel like I'm in a better place now. I should mention also that um, the main reason I didn't keep up with the channel over the past 6 years is because um, I was insanely depressed and my anxiety was through the roof, and um, I I needed help. I'm not ashamed to say that I needed help. Um, it took me a very long time before I manned up and called a therapist, and uh, that probably saved my life. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Uh, I was going down a very dark path. I recognized that as a very dark path, and it started getting to the point where I felt like there was nothing I could do to get myself off that path. Um, so fortunately, I finally manned up, called a therapist, called a psychiatrist, and I'm on medication now. I'm on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, but uh, all that stuff is gone. Like the well, I'm not going to say depression's 100% gone. There are still times, especially being unemployed, I get bored and I start, feeling depressed. Have I ever gotten to a point where I'm like I'm on that dark path again? No, not yet, and hopefully never again. Um, I'm content with where I am right now, and a lot again had to do with the weight loss. I really hated myself for how much I weighed, and um, like I said earlier, I couldn't even look at myself in reflections because I hated the way I looked. There's a couple pictures of myself. One of them is actually from the day I found out about how much I weighed, because a friend and I went and saw Katy Perry at United Center um, that night. I had the appointment in the afternoon, and then that night we went and saw Katy Perry. And I have a picture with her where we're sitting in the seats, and I'm kind of like turned uh, backwards, facing the people who are taking the picture, and I can't. I, I look so bad. There's two pictures. There's another one where I was at the Museum of Broadcast Communications, and I'm just goofing around in front of a chroma key, and my friend took the picture, and I didn't know how bad I looked. I really didn't. I had no idea. This was when I still had hair, and I look awful. I look massively huge. This was 2015, so this was uh, before I found out how much I weighed, and I know that I gained weight because in 2015 was when I started my data entry job, which is the job I was laid off from, and uh, I know I gained weight because before that I was working in a retail store, and I'd probably walk easily 5 miles every day inside the store. So my weight, and that combined with my bad diet, it kind of kept my weight at the same. So for a long time I was at 280, 285. I know that for a fact because every driver's license I've had always says 280 or 285. I think that's what it says now. Um, I can't wait to get a new license and say 200 or maybe even less. I mean, who knows? I can easily lose more weight if I change. Like my diet's still not perfect. I do my best to add in fruit and vegetables to my diet, but I still eat pasta and stuff. So, um, but again, the amount I can take in is what saved my life because I've been at 200 for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now, and my weight hasn't changed. 200. So I'm happy with where I'm at with the weight. Can I lose more weight? Yes. Do I want to lose more weight? Eventually. I'm in no rush right now. I've hit my goal. I had three goals. One was 220. That was what my doctor told me. That doctor I went to when he told me I needed to lose weight. He said 220 was where I'm supposed to be for my height. Now I'm 6 feet tall. Um, I ended up looking that up on my own years later and found out that my ideal weight for 6 foot, a 6 foot male, is actually like 185 to 190, or between 180 and 190. And I was like, huh, 220 never should have been one of my goals because I thought that's where I needed to be. I hit 220 which was amazing. I felt great about myself. Then the second goal was to get to 212, which would have been 100 pounds lost, and I hit that. And then 200 was the overall goal. When they asked me how much I wanted to lose, I said 100 pounds, which would have been 212. Um, I would have been fine there, but I really, really wanted to get to 220. Now my next goal, which I'm in no rush to get to, but my next goal would be to get just under 200. I haven't seen a one at the beginning of my weight in probably over 20 years. Um, I think the reason that I gained so much weight so quickly was because, well, there were two factors. One, my mom got sick when I was 15, almost 16, and uh, it was bad. It was like very, very bad. She had a aneurysm in her head, and it was, from what they told us, the blood clot was the size of a tangerine. So she was in a nursing home and for the rest of her life. And when that first started, I was 15. Like, I didn't know. Nobody really taught me about health, like what you shouldn't eat and what you should eat, and and this is going to sound stupid, but I mean, this is how it was. Nobody taught me that pop was so horribly bad for you. Um, I used to drink pop every once in a while. When I was 16, I started working at Domino's Pizza, and this. So the first part of why I gained the weight was because my mom got ill, and I started having to feed myself. And the way I fed myself was with frozen pizzas and macaroni and cheese. And that's, 37-year-old me looking back at 16-year-old me. I'm shaking my head and saying, "Stop! Don't do that." But um, that's what I did, and that was part of it. The second part was that I worked at Domino's Pizza, and I used to get free pizza all the time. And I'm not joking you when I say this. Two things I'm going to say. One was I used to make pizzas with like a pound of cheese on it because I love cheese. And nobody really told me that cheese, I grew up watching commercials for Kraft singles, and they were like, oh, great source of calcium, blah, blah, blah. So it never really occurred to me that cheese is fattening and you can gain a ton of weight if that's all you eat. Didn't know that. And then I would also, and I kid you not, you're not going to believe me, but this is the goddamn truth. When I worked at Domino's, I used to drink 2 liters of Dr. Pepper every day. 2 liters. 4 liters of Dr. Pepper every day. Because I didn't know. I'm thinking, oh, it's a drink. I'm not going to gain weight from a drink. I didn't know. I'm an idiot. Like, I didn't learn that until much later in life. Um, so it was going to happen. No matter what, it was going to happen. If my mom didn't get sick and she was fine and I lived my life, with her and moved out and all that stuff, it still was going to happen because I didn't know. I think one of the things that kids need to be taught nowadays, and I hope they are, I don't have any kids, so I have no idea, but I hope that they are being taught about carbs. That was something that nobody ever talked about when I was a kid, whether it was my parents or the school, the health classes. Nobody ever talked about carbs and bread and pastas and stuff like this. So I would eat bread all the time. I would just go open a loaf of bread sometimes and just eat bread. Like, I didn't know. It was tasty. I didn't know that it was bad for you. So all of these things, all of these um, ignorant like things that I did, um, is what caused my weight gain, my horrible weight gain. And like I said, 328 is the highest that I ever saw. But if you look at the pictures of me from the Katy Perry concert or for the Museum of Broadcast Communications picture, I'm pretty sure that I weighed way more than 328 in my life at some point. I don't think I ever weighed 400 pounds, but 350, maybe. I don't know. And honestly, I'm glad I don't know. But um, that's where a lot of that came from, and um, that's where a lot of my depression came from. Was the fact that I knew that I was a joke. Like, I grew up in a world, and I'm glad that they're trying to get kids away from this type of world, but um, I grew up in a world where it was common to make fun of the fat kid, or common to make fun of the loner or whatever. Not saying I'm not trying to say that that's okay to do or condone it in any way. It's not. It's not okay. It wasn't okay back then. It's not okay today. It wasn't. It shouldn't be okay ever in life to make fun of somebody because of the way how much they weigh, or what they look like, or their background or whatever. It's not okay, but that was the world that I lived in, where it was like the fat guy was the guy you made fun of. And you'd see it in movies. Go watch movies from the 80s and 90s. Like, the fat guy's always the outcast, always. It's like nobody wants the fat guy. The fat guy doesn't get the ladies. The fat guy doesn't get to be part of the popular crowd. That's the way it was. And that was ingrained in my head. And I think that really caused me a lot of problems in life. And I'm just now at 37 starting to see uh, these things, see how bad these things are, and how not okay they are. But now I feel like, let me put it to you this way. My father used to always say to me that if I lost weight, then women would be more attracted to me, or women would want to go out with me and stuff like that. Um, as of right now, that's not happening, but that's because of COVID. Um, but I don't care. I really don't. This is all about me feeling good about myself. And I haven't become egotistical or anything, being like, "Ooh, I lost all this weight." Um, this is Losing weight's very difficult, and my heart goes out to people who are struggling with losing that weight. If it's if it ever becomes an option for you to lose weight, then look into the sleeve gastrectomy. It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life, and probably will ever do in my life. I I still cannot explain to you how great I feel about myself. And because of that feeling, and because of all this free time I have, because I don't have a job at the moment, that's why I'm bringing the YouTube channel back. And I want to, believe me, I want to bring it back. So hopefully, I'm not promising anything, but hopefully we will have a new channel, new DVD collection videos. I know that's what everyone likes, new movie reviews. Um, yeah, hopefully I'm back. But I wanted to really just explain to everyone where I was, why I stopped the channel abruptly. Believe me, it had nothing to do with um, wanting to. It was more of the depression really made me stop doing it. Um, so yeah, hopefully there'll be new videos. I got a new MacBook Pro. My last MacBook Pro lasted me 12 years, and then it just died. Well, it's not dead, but it's running insanely slow. So on a whim, I just bought a new MacBook. And yeah, so hopefully there'll be some more videos and very soon. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos. And thanks.